Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome to Crash Landing. So, this mod pack I played 2.5 years ago. This is an old 1.6.4 mod pack. It is a Hardecore Questing mod pack, and I wanted to go back to it because there was a lot of things that I did not get a chance to do the first time around, but also I am really getting to the point of burnout on TechNode Firmacraft, and I need something different to do. So what I want to do here, I'm going to do something a little different than normal. Usually I do very heavily edited videos, and so what I want to do this time around is we are going to have a 20-minute timer per episode, and whatever I can get done within that 20-minute episode is what you're going to see. So, yeah, we have our initial startup map here. Now, like I said, this is a hardcore map. If we die, we're done. Now, we do have the sync mod in here, and so if we can get the sync mod going right away, that will really save our butts later on. But so we're going to go ahead and load up this save file, and this map is all pretty much pre-generated right around our crashed ship. But we need to go and do a few things immediately. So what we're going to do right off the bat, we're going to run out, and I forget that we can't run here. So this is kind of a weird thing. I have noticed in several people's videos that that piece of zombie jerky is there. And that really is beneficial for what we need for quests here in just a little bit. So we're going to start out here by breaking a whole bunch of dust. And we're going to block up this engine that is broken off of our ship when we crashed, so that this blazing pyrotheum is no longer leaking out, and we don't have to worry about the heat that is coming off of it. So, yeah, it's going to take us 3 blocks of dust to plug that, and that will no longer be an issue. So now we are going to gather up as much dust as we can, just right here around the edge of the ship, and yeah, we've got a couple of things here that we don't usually have. This mod pack has Enviromine in it, and that adds hunger, or not hunger, heat, hydration, and for some reason I think there's one other thing. But we have our heat and hydration down in the lower left of the screen. We are currently at a temperature of 38.32 degrees Celsius for our body temperature. That is rather warm, but it can go a long way up from there. Now, on that bar, you can see there are 2 little black dots. Those dots indicate the ambient temperature outside, and we can also see the sun is already on the downward curve, so we need to get as much dust here as we can. But below that, we have our water. Now we're currently at 75.55% on our water, and that is dropping very rapidly. Now we have some quests that are going to help us out with that, but like I said, right now getting this bone meal is the most dust is the most critical thing. So yeah, we're going to get all of this, and then we're going to get inside the ship. Now there's a couple of things that we need to do in order to make this first day work out in our favor. So first off, this dark glass here we can break, and that is very beneficial because what we're going to do now is expand this stuff out away from the front of the ship and allow us to work under the ship at night. So we need a whole gob of this stuff, and there's not a whole heck of a lot of it to be found around here. So let's try to get as much of it as we can. We can also use a little bit of dust to plug this front entrance up. But we're going to get this all blocked off so that we don't have to worry about mobs killing us. We have a little bit more glass here. And I think we need 6 more of these over here. You can see we are getting heat stroke now because we're very hot. We're going to place those guys in there like that, and if you watch the first playthrough, you'll know that's exactly how I set those up in that one as well. But so we're going to get as much of this as we can. We can see it's already getting dark outside, and so we need to quickly get this closed up. Now the outside temperature is still higher than the inside or our temperature, but that will soon be dropping. So we still have a little bit of time here. We're going to grab a little bit more dust. We have 5 more of these. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's grab these 2. And there we go. Okay. So now we can utilize this space going underneath the ship, and that will give us something that we can work with later. But I think now we need to get into our quest book so that we can get our water taken care of. That will lower our temperature, but it is now nighttime anyway. So we're just going to read the quest book here. So actually, let's just toss one of these away. We don't need 2 of them.
Hello and welcome.
So,
I am IMPA, or to be more precise, Intelligent Multi-Purpose Assistant.
well, however, your talking is going to kill me. So we need to go into basic survival first. We have 4 quests in total here, 2 quests available for completion. So first off, we need gathering supplies. Well, that is a mess. Grab what you can from the wreck and watch out for the detached engine. The core has been breached and the fuel is leaking. So we need to get 2 fluid transposers for this. That's going to give us our camel pack. And you know what? We're going to put these books into the bookshelf over here. So we have a bunch of auxiliary reading. Yeah, we're just going to drop all of that in there. We can see there's multiples of the books that we have. And we're going to grab these 2 fluid transposers. That's going to give us our camel pack, 2 cold water bottles, 6 water bottles. That is going to be exactly what we need to stay alive. So if we press W and click on this, it will put these into the crafting grid. And we're going to put 4 of those in here, and that will fill the camel pack. Now what we're going to do is we're going to leave the camel pack on us until our hydration reaches between 90 and 100%. Then we're going to take it back off, because otherwise we're just wasting water. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the quest book and see what we've got next. So we have Desperate Times. You may have noticed a lack of food on this planet. Well, I have a temporary solution. You're not going to like it much, but given the only alternative is starving to death, well, see all the dust around you? Well, I am reading high concentrations of salt. I'm positive you can get useful amounts just by doing a little sifting. Sticking a salt water bottle in a furnace would also work, although it ruins the bottle. So we need to get 2 salt. So in this chest, we have an oak sieve. Now what we're going to want to do with this is pick up a wrench and take this sieve, and we're going to place it down here in between these chairs. We'll sit down on the chairs and sieve a little dust. So we need to get 2 pieces of salt. I saw 1 piece of salt already. I think we actually, yeah, we've got 1 piece of salt. Let's go ahead and get that down on our hotbar so that we can see how many we've got. Alright, there we go. There's 2. So let's check the quest book. So then the rotten flesh. This seems to be infested. This place seems to be infested by can only be called zombies. By what can only be called zombies? Go grab a few bits of rotten flesh from them for the next task. So we need some rotten flesh, and finally we need some zombie jerky. Okay, combine 1 rotten flesh with 2 salt, and you will have something that is edible. Barely. Well, it will keep you alive long enough to find something better at least. So we need to take our rotten flesh and our 2 pieces of salt, combine those together, we get a zombie jerky, and now we go back in here and we have finished this quest. We're going to get 4 more zombie jerky out of that. We now have our water plenty high, so let's go ahead and eat a zombie jerky. Now we do have hunger overhaul in this, and that will make it to where we cannot eat food repeatedly. We can't just find a good food source and eat it over and over and over. I believe it's after you eat something 24 times. Well, let's see here. It should say diminishing returns start after eating any food 35 more times. So if we eat 35 more times, we will start getting the diminishing returns. Now, what diminishing returns means is right now we are getting 100% of the return of eating that food. So in the case of zombie jerky, I believe it's 1 haunch of food. Now, after we eat that 5 times during diminishing returns, it will then drop by 20% each time. So the 6th time it will be 80%, 7th will be 40 or 60, then 40, 20, and finally 0. And then we need to eat at least 24 haunches worth of food in something else before we can use that again. Now, one thing about this pack is any chance you get, sift dirt or sift dust. Any chance you get, just sit down and sift dust. You're going to need tons and tons of resources. Bone meal is a very critical resource to have. Yeah, so just sift dust whenever possible. And after a little bit, we will get a quest that will allow us to automatically sift dust. Now, one thing that is probably going to drive me, as well as you guys, insane, is the sound of spiders over our head. So we can hear that. Those guys do not die. But, yeah, we'll just have to deal with it for now. So we're going to get these last 2 pieces of dust sieved. And then we're going to work towards getting our next step. So now we are going to need to do the very basics. Alright, as part of my functions, I can replicate needed items as if provided with raw materials. My capacity is limited at this point, so I can't provide much. Sift some of the dust to get bone meal. With that, 1 dust and a bottle of water, I can provide you an essential survival material, which of course is dirt. So let's go ahead and manually submit this. We needed 1 dust, 1 bone meal, and 1 water bottle. That's going to give us 2 water bottles, 4 bone meal, and a dirt. So let's go ahead and take that. So next up, we have these 2 guys right here, and this is going to be the most important thing for us at the moment. We have the easy route and the hard route. So for a kinder, gentler experience, this is the way to go. Note, choosing this path disables the hard route quest. This, I don't really like that idea. We're going to go with the hard route. I like the hard route. It makes things a little bit more difficult, but we need 1 dust. That's going to give us a birch sapling, spruce sapling, 8 bone meal, and some needle gun ammo. So let's go ahead and submit this quest and claim the reward. So there we go. There's that. Then we need tools of the trade. Here we need a stone hammer, a bone crook, a bone shovel head, and a bone axe head. We are not quite ready for that, but we do need to get into Tinker's Construct as soon as possible. We also have even more desperate, which we need to get some silkworms. Now, to get silkworms, we need to make some regular crooks and hit some leaves. But before we can hit some leaves, we need to get underneath the ship and get some trees going. So this is going to get dark. I am very sorry about that. But we need to get under the ship, get some trees, and that will allow us to make all of the things that we need to after this point. So we need to dig out a 5x5 space. Now what we really need is something that we can place on the ground that will break the dirt or the dust above it. So let's see, what do we have available up here? The sieve will just hold them up. Bookshelf, maybe a drying rack? Aha, the crafting station. That should do it. So let's go ahead and go under the ship with the crafting station and see what we can do here. So if we place this down, yes, perfect. So it is kind of a pain in the butt to break it again. However, now we can break a whole bunch of dust all at once. So yeah, this is not exactly the most ideal way to do things, but it will work. And as I said, I am really sorry about the dark. And actually, let's just check here. I'll bet my video video settings are on Moody. That is going to change things a little too. So let's go ahead and continue digging down here. So we need to get down at least 6 blocks, no, 7 blocks, because we have a birch tree. 6 is for an oak, 7 is for a birch. So how deep are we currently? Let's see here. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need to go 1 more. So we'll go down 1 more block. And it is daytime, but I'm not going to bother with going out to get the drops from the mobs. We have a few more minutes left yet, because obviously the time of the game start is not correct. Okay, well, that works too, I guess. So now we need to dig out a 5x5 space. So, come on, get in there. So we're going to go over to here and over to here. And of course, this is all underneath the ship, so we don't have to worry about mobs being able to get to us, but we will need to stay close to this so that mobs can't spawn. So, yeah. Sorry, this is tedious work, but it has to be done. So we're going to have tons and tons of dust. After we get all of this set up, what we're going to want to do is get ourselves some chests and start to get our stuff organized. That's one thing that you really don't want here, is to waste time trying to get your organization figured out. So there's a couple other things that we can do here. First off, just outside of the ship, there happens to be a water source. Now, if we try to fill a water bottle with that, it's going to give us a salt water bottle. So that does us absolutely no good. But underneath it, there is also some clay. Now, that's going to come in really handy for making a clay bucket. That is going to be useful for moving that water source. Now, one thing that we can do, I believe it's Y45. Anything below Y45, that water source will change from a salt water source to a freshwater source. So once we get enough stuff to be able to go way down underground and have ladders to come back out, we will be able to go down there and get water for free. Now, one thing about this map is that infinite water sources do not exist. So we do have to make all water sources manually, but I think we can fill water bottles from a pure water source. So let's see, we're 4. So yeah, there's definitely some stuff that we need to take care of there. But I really want to get this tree going before the end of the episode. Come on, drop. There we go. So we still have about 4 minutes left. Come on. Let's go. We're getting close. Whoops. And we got one more to go. We'll get this dirt in the ground. And then we'll plant the tree. Now, thankfully, we don't need light for this tree to grow. But let's go ahead and put down the dirt. We're going to plant a birch tree. And... oh, no, we do need some light. Darn it. Okay, so that was something that we did not need before. Apparently, they decided to update the pack so that you couldn't do this. Okay, so what can we grab that has some... can we get these? Does not really look like it. So what we're going to have to do is get a little bit more glowstone. Well, unfortunately, that means we're not going to be able to make it before the end of the episode. I am pretty sure there is no chance that we will get enough glowstone by the end of the episode. And I did not want to do that. So we need 2 more glowstone. Oh, come on. Give me the glowstone. Maybe we could... no, we have no sticks. I was going to say maybe we could make a redstone torch, but we have no sticks. Oh, man. So they obviously have paid attention to what people do. This was actually my initial strategy the first time that I played this. Now, I've known a lot of people work on building courtyards and things out front of the ship, but I find it a lot safer to build under the ship. So we are definitely going to have to get this glowstone so that we can work underground. So come on, give me the glowstone. We've sifted quite a bit and we have only 2 still. Alright, well let's go ahead and put the camel pack back on because we're at about 30%, well, 38% on our water. So we need to get as much there as we can. Come on, glowstone, please, glowstone. Oh, it doesn't look like we're getting anything right now. So we desperately need that glowstone. Come on. Please? There's one more. Come on, just one more. We still have time. We still have time. Come on. I want to see 4 glowstone. Getting Certus quartz dust and all kinds of other stuff. Redstone. A whole bunch of stuff, but not what we want. We want that glowstone. Come on, glowstone. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. We desperately need that glowstone. And I'm afraid we're probably going to run out of... Oh, there we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we'll take our 4 glowstone dust. And I forgot. The reason I am Steve is because, yeah, I am playing this single player. And for some reason, it always comes up as Steve. So now we have our tree. So what we're going to do, we're going to punch our first 2 blocks, and we're going to make some crooks. So let's go ahead and put down our crafting station. We're going to turn these into planks, turn those into sticks. We're going to make some crooks, and we're going to break these leaves. So this gives us a much higher probability of saplings and a chance to get those silkworms. So now at this point, it is kind of trying to get some saplings, trying to get some dust taken care of, and we're trying to move forward. But hey, there's our timer. So I've got to say, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about me playing back through this old mod pack, be sure to leave that down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!